back in Cornwall to ride some different woodland. Look at the sunny sky behind me. It's actually a nice day after some really terrible weather recently. And last weekend we were in Cornwall. I was riding in Grogley, which I didn't vlog, but Pete and Simon went on a little bit of a recce to some other woodland that we thought we'd ridden before and wasn't very good, but actually turns out either it's something's been done to it and it's better, or we just totally missed it. So we're going there today. I've got the e-bike, might be the last ride I do on this orange, I don't know, see how it goes. And yeah, should be a good day with some good loam. Started with breakfast at the Pump and Pedal again because we like it here. Parked up at Grogley, just going to get the bikes out, and then we're going to pedal across to the other woodland because it's easier to park here if you've got a van than it is to go and try and park over there. Bishop's Wood that we're heading to. Got the e-bike out. Simon's on an e-bike and Pete's orange is here as well. So we've just gone past the top of the Grogley trails, but not going to head down there today because we're going to keep pedaling across to a trail that is marked on Trail Foxes of Blue across to the other woodland, Bishop's Wood. So you can get to this by going down the road, but of course it's a bit more boring because it's a road and there's going to be traffic and it's quite a narrow lane as well. But you could ride on the road from the car parking at Grogley if you wanted to. Ankle update, we are now 8 weeks into recovery. First proper ride on this bike since I did it, because I've only done about 30-mile across country route on it rather than riding it properly. So this will be the first time I've actually ridden it properly since then. It does feel better, still no running. I'm happy following you. Everybody's on eaves today because Simon's a little bit injured. So this is the bit that I was saying was graded as a blue. Oh, there's another trail over there. As you can see, it's fairly flattish, but quite nice. Nice bits of roots and stuff, little rocky bits. Turned you back on so you can see the beautiful spring hedgerows and the back of Simon and Pete covered in mud because we just went down the muddiest track. No, I bet it wasn't. Almost submerging the motor. Here we are then at Bishop's Wood. Okay, so pedaling up to the first trail. Where do I go? This way? You want me to go in front? Yeah, I don't know where I'm going. I think it's one of those ones where you need a sort of a vague idea. Where you're going? Yeah, of where you've been there before. Because like here, it's so open. You could go on any of it. Yeah. So, from what I remember, because I briefly came here before, there's a couple of different hills, unlike Grogley, which is on the same side but loads of trails. There's like... Just wanted to tell Pete about that puddle, that it was best to actually go through it. I was just telling Pete to make sure he went through the puddle rather than trying to go around each side, as it was a bit boggy. Ah, so this is the choice. It's the choice, yeah. So is that 3 choices or 2 choices?
3 choices.
Okay.
That's where you fell off that time
on
that bike.
Yep.
That's where me and Simon went
that way.
Time,
yeah.
which I can ride only the top bit.
Okay. And then that's nobody knows where that is.
Nobody knows.
Okay, so
we'll head down there now.
Or we start on what you know.
Well, I'm going to have to walk half that.
You might have to walk half that, you don't know yet.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Well, I guess we'll just try and all end up in the same place.
Yeah.
Because we could be in totally different places.
Fire road, I reckon.
Yeah, if it's anything like Grogley, it'll be different places. Okay, so this is a unknown because they didn't do this the other week. Yeah, I think we're going back down this too. Here he comes. I wonder if this is like an up path. I think this is definitely a climb because there are trails coming off there. We know where the furthest left goes. We're going to do the middle trail. So where the furthest left went, we did find the woodland where there's loads more trails in there because you can see loads of stuff coming down. So we're going to go and have a look at that in a bit. But we just wanted to see what this one's like. Apparently I have done this one before and I crashed on it. So we'll try not to do that this time. Got to be a little bit wary of turning the bars because of the knock block. Because I've undone it so that it stops getting jammed one way. But if it moves, it could also be a bit problematic. It was a little bit sketched out, wasn't it? So with that one, that was very, very narrow. And loose. Although I have a sneaky suspicion that the Orbea would have gripped like anything on that. And that's just the orange being a little bit slidey. Oh, lots of breaking knobs. Definitely not what the ankle wanted, but we're alright. Should have gone outside there. Nice. So we've decided that even though these trails are super short, there's so many different types of mud on it and different terrain. Like one minute you think you got grip and then the next minute you're sliding out in a corner. Simon's bashed himself on the saddle where the back end of his bike went round, so he's fixing that. Heading back up the same fire road, hopefully see Pete in that same corner. And then we're going to go and do the third trail and then we'll go back down and meet him again to have a look in these woods over here. Perhaps you were just really tired.
Yeah, well, I was pretty tired last week and I was at Highfield.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so this is the third one. Look, it's muddy. We just stopped and talked to some local people. As a new subscriber to my channel, actually, who was very helpful in telling me where some other stuff was. Not sure if we'll go there today because it sounds like it might be a bit steep for Pete and Simon, but we'll see. But it's somewhere I could definitely come back and take in the future, which is what we're looking for as well. More stuff down here so that I don't always go up there, because there is some good stuff down to the southwest, if you know. Okay, this is the steepest, loosest stuff I've been on since the ankle. Typical orange slidiness. Got used to the Orbea gripping, but luckily it's the other foot that I put on, so that's fine. It's amazing how you can get used to a certain bike, then you go on something else and go, wow, that doesn't respond the same, even when you've had the bike for years.
But it comes out up there.
The top of what? Oh, a trail.
The trail that this one goes on. Yeah, this is like two trails run into this one.
Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, we could do that. Start from the top rather than
do
it from here. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Bit loose at the top there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Simon's gone on a different trail. Trail. Yeah, we wouldn't want wide bars through there. So a lot of these ones that we're doing over here, and that kind of fits up with the guy, is that these are very short and not much. Whereas over the other side is more where we've got stuff. So this is perfect for today. That's right on my ankle. It's funny how like jumpy stuff's fine on my ankle, but as soon as I go into rough stuff, it's not. So yeah, that was actually quite a fun little trail. Okay.
So if you stay on the left, then you've got to drop off the bottom.
All right then.
I want to roll off.
See you in a minute. Okay. I really like that trail just did. I could keep doing that actually, to be honest. Not got me to kill me then. Oh, that looks like a... Is that a trail? I purposely stayed on the left, like you said, but it was actually a fluke because I didn't see any other trails. All I saw was Simon disappear off in the woods.
Yeah, I was following him and I was like, where's he gone? Because I saw Nick on the left, Simon on the right, and I was thinking, they're a bit away from each other.
We fell out in the woods. The steeper trails are over this side, in through that woodland there, and I do remember that we went over and had a look before a couple of years ago, and they are quite a bit steeper, but we're not going to do that today because Simon's pulled his hip flexor. Pete's not too keen to do steep stuff today, and I'm just here for chills and exploring anyway, which technically I've already done, so I'm not too worried. But I will be back over to do that side, hopefully on my new e-bike. The other thing as well is hopefully got enough people now who've seen and recommended stuff because they've seen Jim's vlogs and my vlogs, that we would have a guide as well if you wanted to come over this side, which would be really good because it would just speed up the process. Although we may try and use trail forks, but again, what's actually marked on there is a bit difficult to say. If you've enjoyed this video so far, please give it a like, comment what you thought, and subscribe to my channel for more cool stuff. Back to the video. Quite excited to have found this place again, because that is so easy to get from Grogley's as well. So if you're going to come down here or bring down here Jim for a weekend, we know we could do part there, pedal over, do a load of that, come back, do a load in Grogley, and then go. So it's like suddenly your Grogley day gets so much bigger, especially when you're on an e-bike and it's not really taking you very long to get back up the hill each time. That might be the end of our ride, as Pete's got a very, very flat, not just a little bit soft, pancake. And probably hasn't been much sealing gone in there for a while. Luckily, did bring pumps, so at least we're able to pump it up and actually go back rather than Pete having to pedal or push all the way with a very flat tyre. Unfortunately, we cannot get any air to stay in Pete's tyre, and to add insult to injury, the pump broke the end of the valve as well, so it's leaking out of there now too. So we're going to make our way back over to Grogley as planned, but Pete will have to go straight back to the van. Me and Simon might do a couple of laps, we'll see what we feel like when we get there. We'll definitely go on the trails back down to the van anyway, rather than going down the fight road. But we just move across and hopefully not kill Pete on a crossing. So Pete has gone down. take the new Loamy Trail. So when I came here with Jim on the e-bikes, this was just being cut in, whereas now it's an actual trail, although as you can see it joins into other ones. Last week when I was here with the Orbea, I did a gap jump that I'd never done before. So easy on that bike, but this suspension is literally hurting my ankle at the moment. Just that bit too stiff, like I mentioned before, to try and combat the fact that it rides super plush at the bottom end because of the suspension and the way it's designed, which means if anything, it just feels a bit hard on my ankle at the moment, especially over the real bumpy stuff, whereas the Orbea felt really good and soft and plush, whereas this just isn't. Yeah, definitely feeling it a bit more, but ow, I don't want to spend time doing suspension stacking, so what I'll do is just slow down a little bit. Bloody not block. Going to stay round to the right now. We found Pete partially on the fire road. He's nearly made it down, so that's good. So we're going to go to the right. Oh, the new double there. I've got an itch on my face I really want to scratch. Oh. So crazy different to riding the Orbea. I'm going to get some settings off some of that Jim knows who works with suspension to let me know like the base settings to put on for the rail. So that's good. So I can hopefully go like straight into that. And I'm hoping that it will feel like as good as this one did when I put the factory suspension on and not change it, because I've got to be honest, I faffed with the suspension on Santa Cruz and I actually preferred the feel of the cheaper one because it was so plush. Well, that's for going fast and over like jumps and stuff, but then I found that when you go over the rough stuff I was getting loads of arm pump because it didn't have all the slow speed stuff in it, so it's got to be a setup thing. So anyhow, unanimous decision to go this way. Nearly took Simon down the trail that I went on the other day and said I think that's going to be super slippy in the wet, but luckily managed not to take us down that bit. He's made it, thank goodness. Made it back to the van. Pete made it back to the van. His tyre didn't really make it fully back, but it'll be all right. It didn't kill you on the way down, did it? So that's a bonus. So just basically, time to get changed, put dirty bikes back in the van, and thank you very much for watching this video. We didn't get loads done, but that's because I think it will be another day's worth of riding really to go over to the steeper stuff, and none of us really felt like that today. But at least if you want to come and do a bit of a mellow ride in Bishop's Wood, you know where to go, and there will be another vlog on the steeper side another time and on a different bike. Thank you very much for this video, and I'll see you at the next one.